Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome to another video. We're going to talk about one of the coins that I think most people skip past, and that's Jefferson nickels. So if you're new to the channel and you're like, what the heck is this dude talking about? Even if you're not into collecting coins, I think you're probably into making money, and more of it. So I like to show you what you can look for in your pocket change, in your paper currency, and your coins that is worth tons of money, so that way, before you spend that nickel out next time at the store, you know what to look for that can make it worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars just because of a small mistake from the US Mint. At number 1, we have the 1943p 3/2 overdate. This is a wartime alloy nickel with a mintage of 271 million. This error type is an overdate where a 3 is punched over the 2 in the date. Some of these have a value of between $50 and $400 ungraded, with one at $2,500 in MS65 with full steps graded by PCGS. The highest graded example currently sold back in 2011 for $16,450 in MS67 from PCGS. This overdate shows the 3 punched right over a 2. Wartime nickels use silver alloy, and this minting mistake makes it a double threat for collectors of any type. These coins are really cool and a great one to find. At number 2, the 1939 doubled Monticello and 5 cents DDR. I know that's kind of a mouthful, but I'll break it down. These had a mintage of 120.6 million, and this error type is a DDR, or double die reverse, so it's going to take place on the back of the coin. These can have a pretty good value, even ungraded, from $50 to $300, and sometimes seen selling for over $2,000 in higher grades like MS65. One of the highest known examples is from NGC at MS67 full steps. It's $4,230 and was sold through Great Collections in 2021. One of the most famous double die errors in the nickel series is these coins. You'll see clear doubling on Monticello and the words 5 cents. It's a textbook error that's still out there, and even though a really old nickel is worth tons of money if you do come across one in the old change jars. At number 3, the 1942 D over horizontal D. These had a super low mintage of 13.9 million, so that alone makes them a really good coin to look for, even without errors. The error type is a repunched mintmark, or RPM error. The value of these can be $75 or more ungraded depending on condition. In higher grades like MS63 or higher, especially with full steps, these can sell for over $1,000. One of the highest known examples is a PCGS MS67 with full steps that sold for $2,700 only in 2022. This repunched mintmark error has a sideways D underneath the primary mintmark, so it's easy to miss without magnification, and that's why you'll want to pick up a really good loop. I always have one tagged in videos for like $5 on Amazon, so follow that link if you don't have one. But keep an eye out for these 1942 D over horizontal D errors. At number 4, the 1954 S over D mintmark. There was 29.3 million of these produced, and this error type is an OMM, or more commonly just referred to as over mintmark. These ungraded can sell in upwards of $400. Graded examples in higher MS grades can exceed $1,700. One of the highest known examples was graded by PCGS at MS66 with full steps. It sold for over $2,000 through Stack's Bowers in 2020. San Francisco punched right over a Denver mintmark in this error. This is the classic example of an over mintmark. It's rare, it's sought after, And believe it or not, these pop up pretty regularly comparatively to other errors when people are coin roll hunting. At number 5, the 1955 DDR nickel. With a mintage of only 7.8 million, these are already a great coin to look for, and these have an error type of a double die reverse, so another double die on the back of the coin. Ungraded, these can be worth between $100 and $300, with higher graded examples being able to be sold over $2,000. One of the highest known examples is an NGC MS65 that sold for almost $3,000 in 2019. Much like the 1939s, the 1955 DDRs show strong doubling, especially on the reverse of the coin. Lower mintage makes these even more valuable. At number 6, the 1971 No S proof coin. This one's pretty straightforward. There's an unknown amount of them out there. Error type is it's missing the mint mark on these proof coins. Value of these can go in upwards of like $1,500 to $2,000, with one of the highest graded examples being a PCGS PR68 that sold for $4,888 in 2021 through Legend Rare Coin Auctions. Proof coins always have that S mint mark, except this one doesn't. The 1971 No S Jefferson is a major variety in the proof series in Jefferson series. It's extremely limited and really valuable. At number 7, the 1964 D over D RPM. Mintage was huge for this year at 1.8 billion nickels. The error type is a repunched mint mark, so pretty straightforward. Ungraded values can still see in upwards of $100. MS65s with full steps can sell for $500 to $700 pretty regularly, with the highest known example being a PCGS MS66 that sold for $1,100 in 2020 through Heritage. Even with over a billion made, this RPM error slipped through. Another great roll hunting candidate for you guys. They're into roll hunting, especially if you can get this thing graded highly. They're worth a ton of money. At number 8, 2005 P Speared Bison nickels. There was 448 million of these minted during that year, and this error type is a die gouge, so it looks like a spear through the bison's back. Values can see around $75 ungraded, but graded in MS64 or higher can exceed $1,000. One of the highest known examples is a PCGS MS66. It sold for $2,600 on eBay in 2022, and this modern variety is just wild and really sought after. A die gouge looks like the poor bison took a spear right through its back, and although not super rare, it is really valuable and really highly collected, especially if that die gouge is really dramatic. At number 9, the 1981 S Type 2 Clear S proof. There were 3 million total proof sets that were made, but few with a Type 2. A variety with a clear S mint mark. Values are around $100 to $200 ungraded. When you're talking deep cameo grades, they can exceed $800. One of the highest known examples is a PCGS PR70 DCAM nickel. It sold for $1,600 in 2021 through Great Collections. The difference? It's really subtle, but the clear, sharply serifed S on the variety sets it apart. And it's in demand across all denominations, so you have a lot to look for. Rounding out our list at number 10, the 1945P Double Die Reverse. 119 million of these bad boys would be produced out of Philadelphia that year, and this error type is a double die reverse. So you can actually see we had a lot of DDRs on nickels in this list. The die polishing makes it really tricky to spot though. The value of these can be between $100 and $200 ungraded, with higher MS grades like MS64 or above selling for over $1,000. Highest known examples include a PCGS MS-66 with full steps, which sold for almost $2,000 in 2018. The silver wartime nickels had plenty of errors, of course, and this DDR from 1945 is subtle but really, really valuable, especially if it's dramatic enough with good eye appeal. So if you've got a coin microscope or just a sharp eye, these Jefferson nickels could turn your spare change into some really good money. If you have found any of these errors before, then let us know in the comments, especially if you have experience with getting them graded. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you like currency and collectibles like the rest of us. I will see you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.